So that's 2 of the checks I need of the 8 squares. Let's also do the one down and right, because that's the most complicated one probably. Now this time I have to make sure I don't go past the length of my grid. So I need to make sure that y is less than grid.length, which would be 20 minus 1, because that would be 19. You can directly put 19 in here if you want to use the numbers itself, or you can use the length of the grid. I also need to check for x. Then finally, I can check for x plus 1 here, y plus 1. So if that's the case, I'm going to add 1 to neighbor count. So I've got 3 of the checks. I'm going to leave it to you to do the others. So once I do the rest of these, I should have counted up all the neighbors. Okay, so now what do I do once I have all the neighbors? Well, I need to say what's going to happen next time. So I'm going to need some way of keeping track of what it's going to be. So I'm going to create a Boolean array, 2-dimensional array. I call it newGrid. And actually set this up to be a new grid which is the same size as my current grid. This starts off with all of them being false. Booleans start off always as false. So now I have a grid that's the same size as my regular one, which everything starts at false. So now I need to do Conway's life rules. So the first one is if you have 2 or 3 neighbors and you're alive, then you're going to be alive next round, otherwise you're going to be dead. So if the current grid square that I'm looking at, which is x, y, is alive, so let's leave a note here. If it's alive, then I need to check the neighbors. So if neighbor count is 2, or 2 vertical bars. On our keyboards, it's above the Enter key. So it's 2 or 3, it's going to be alive next round. Then new grid x, y is true. So this is if it has 2 or 3 neighbors. If it has more or fewer neighbors, it's going to be dead next round. So now I need to put in the dead side of things. So if it is dead, and it has exactly 3 neighbors, back to life, otherwise dead. I'll leave that to you to finish up. All right, so those are the counts and then the rules of life, and that should make it so that new grid is all done by the time we're finished with the step event. But now we need to make sure that the grid itself gets set to that. So I need to say grid equals new grid at the end of this to make sure it sets grid to actually be this. And that almost works, except that my panel is still pointing to the original grid. So I need to tell it that to use the new one. I don't have a way to do that right now, so I need to go over to my panel and put that in. So I'm going to do a public set grid. And I'm basically going to say grid equals new grid over here as well. It's very much like the constructor. Ah yes, I need to give a return type. Void. All right, so now on this side I need to tell panel, hey, set your grid to be new grid, so that what it's drawing is this new grid as well. Finally, I should repaint. At the moment, it's not going to work until I do everything else, but if I take one step, it should actually, it should actually make a change. It's not yet, and the reason why is because I forgot to put in action listeners. So up here at the top, add action listener, this, and I should probably do that for start and stop while I'm here. That will make it so that clicking the button actually calls action performed. Very important. There we go. It's just disappearing at the moment, but eventually when you do that and you finish the checks and the dead side of things, it should go from a vertical bar to a horizontal bar, and if you click it again, from horizontal back to vertical.